Borchers is best known for her eco-crafting and for her love of tea. For today's Too Cool project, Heidi has also put together a cool kit with the supplies that you need to create this really cool, how many times have I said cool today? It's all really cool. She has put together all the supplies that you need to create this really cool Love My Tea mirror project. I'm delighted to welcome my sister, Heidi Borchers. Hi, Heidi.
Hi there, thanks. I love my tea. I have a tea project today, and I'm also in my kit, I'm offering some tea that you can make some tea. So it's going to be lots of fun. So Tiffany, if you'll put the picture up, I'll get down here to my workspace, and I want to show you first this project today is a Too Cool project. It's a new feature that we have on Cool2Craft, and it's when you're inspired by someone else's project. And this is inspired by a project from, it's out of the Somerset Studio, the March-April issue, the 2010. And it's a wonderful collage, teacups and tea saucers. And when I saw this, I just loved it. It was just one of those things that's like, oh, I wish I would have thought of that. Look at this one. And then there's some wonderful, and sorry to Somerset Studios, but I ripped it out. Look at all these wonderful, wonderful teacups. And this was in the Alice in Wonderland issue of Somerset Studio. And like I said, it was from March, April 2010. And the artwork is by Shirley Zirkle, and the story is by Amber Demian. So they inspired me today. So what I did is I put together a kit, and these are some of the things that are in the kit, and I'll kind of go over it a little bit later, but I wanted to show you what I used today. I've got these wonderful letters that I'm making now that are available on the Cool2Craft marketplace. So in the kit today, you're going to get the Love My Tea. You're also going to get a teacup. My husband is so sweet. He cuts these teacups, the back off, so they'll fit flat onto anything. I've used them lots with my my mosaics. So I'm going to do the collage today. And then I'm going to put this aside for a second. And what I've done is I've typed on the computer some really cool tea quotes. So they're all, look at the, each cup of tea represents an imaginary voyage. But what I wanted to show you is that it's probably a lot of you realize that you can do this, but sometimes those of you that don't, it's a really cool technique. And those of you that do, it's kind of just a reminder. When you print off anything off of your computer and you use your inkjet printer, you cannot go over those with any collage glue. So this one here is a inkjet, and I'm going to show you what happens if you go over it with water or anything. It's going to run. But if you photocopy, it's going to run a little bit. If you photocopy, the ink runs. If you photocopy it, it doesn't. I hope I got that right. So what I do, so if I wanted to tint or paint or anything onto the photocopy, then I can just go right over it and it doesn't run. And like I said, it's a really old technique, but sometimes it's just kind of fun to just kind of have a revision of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear my copy because I want to collage it. Tear. I like the torn edge. I like the torn edges. They seem to go down better onto your project. And I kind of pre-painted a little frame here. And be sure that you pre-paint it with some acrylic paint because the pieces go a lot better when you do that. Get a brush here. I'm using the Collage Page by I Love to Create. Oh, there goes the phone. It's going to ring for a second. My husband is outside making a fence outside the studio, so he's not going to get it today. Okay, we're going to put some underneath. You're going to put it underneath. You're going to put it on the back of your piece. On the back of your piece of paper, and then you're going to put it into the wet glue, and then you're going to put it over. And you know, anytime you're in a hurry on some of these projects, you can always use a hairdryer. We do that a lot of times when we're teaching classes. We use a hairdryer, and that speeds it up so you can do it faster. Some of us are kind of impatient. So you just put underneath, put it on the back, and so it's under, on the back of it, and then over the top. And I forgot to tell you, and you probably saw me do it when I go over like that, I have a whole coat of the collage glue, and I take my finger and that presses out any of the air bubbles. A little designer hint there. Okay, now I'm gonna change this for just a second. My teacup, I used a wonderful paper that I found at the paper source when I was visiting my sisters in Annapolis, and that's what I used for my cup. I'll bring the cup in here. It's the same thing. Here's the cup. It's the same thing collaging the cup as it is the wood. You're just going to put it on the bottom. You're going to tear it again, put some on the back, and then put it onto the cup and put it over. And that's all there is to it. Just go around all the edges. And let's go back to the... Now I painted all my letters. I painted them, oops, get that where it's not in the... Painted all my letters with acrylic paint. And then down here on the bottom, where you see this little, I used dominoes. And I glued the dominoes to the frame, and then I collaged over them, and then if you can see too, I cut some strips of the paper and just put it all around the domino. And then I also took some of the words, and I actually I took and enlarged the words, so you can enlarge the words, and that's when I cut out some of the quotes that are enlarged here. See if I can get the... And then I did a little bit of painting on the cup. So that's my Love My Tea. And like I said, I have a kit. Let me move this aside. And it's really, all it is a Let's Get Started kit. It has the letters. It has a cup. Now it's the cup. It's not, you don't get to choose your cup. Sometimes it's going to be a mug. Sometimes it might be a fancy one. And so it's going to have the cup, it's going to have the letters, and also my sister Candace, I don't know if you know, but my sister Candace is an herbalist, and she has some wonderful teas. So I asked her to put together some teas for this kit, and she's put together, her name of her store is Y River Design, so she has Y River Design tea, which is a wonderful tea. She's got lemon ginger, and also she made up one that's called Creative Crafting, and she's got about a half ounce of each of those that she's putting into the kit for me. So you get this, and then you also get a page of the tea quotes that you can copy. They're copyright free. You can copy any of them the way you want. So Tiff, if you will, I'll if you'll come back in, and I'll rearrange this so that I can rearrange my camera.